So the next Parva, Mahabharatham, Anushasana Parva. As the name itself suggests, it talks about the book of instructions, that is there, Anushasana Parva. The various instructions that were given, the instructions from Bhishmacharya, wherein the theme of Shanti Parva continues, wherein how a ruler should be, what are the rules that are to be followed, and so on. For a ruler, how a kingdom should run. So all such things have been mentioned in the Anushasana Parva. The Vishnu Sahasranama is also part of the Anushasana Parva. I think I told you some other Parva, right, yesterday also in the last session. I don't remember. I made a mistake, I suppose. Vishnu Sahasranama is a part of Anushasana Parva only. Make a note of it. Then various laws that were to be followed, instructions on Dharma also. So all this dialogue was there between Yudhishthira, Bhishmacharya, and few other sages were also present there. Then there are specific chapters also between men and women, and various types of marriages are mentioned. Rakshasa Lagnam, Gandharva Lagnam, Vaidika Lagnam. So like this, there are different types of marriages. Today popularly we follow one, you can say a common way of life, depending on the society that we have now, the lifestyle that we have now, and so on. Based on that, we follow a particular type of marriage. But in earlier times also, there were many marriages, many types of marriages that were being done, and how each of these marriages followed, how are their merits also. All that is also discussed in the Anushasana Parva. You also have the famous story of Nachiketaha. His story also comes in this Anushasana Parva. Then finally, the death and the last rites of Bhishmacharya, the eldest member of the Kuru family, from whom in fact you can see that the base of Sri Mahabharatam started. Finally, Bhishmacharya gives up his body and he attains moksha. Next is the Ashwamedika Parva, or the book, as the name suggests, the book of the horse sacrifice that was to be done. Again, Krishna and Vyasacharya, both of them, they advise Yudhishthira to perform a Ashwamedha Yagam. That's when Yudhishthira tells that my entire treasury is empty, there is no wealth, money, gold, nothing is left. And that's when Krishna Bhagavan, he suggests that there is near Mount Meru in the Himalayan regions, you have mining gold also. So mainly you can go there, you mine gold, you dig down, you will get gold. And there Bhagavan tells a story of a person called Murata, is the name of a king. Yudhishthira, he proceeds with his efforts to mine gold also, and thus he is able to fill his treasury and perform the Ashwamedha Yagam. Further, this book that is there, the Ashwamedhika Yagam, has got a Parva called the Anugita Parva. What is the Anugita Parva? Is the gist of Gita. Many of us, we are not aware of this. The Ashwamedhika Parva has a small version called Anugita, wherein it is like a continuation, or you can say a small section of the Gita, wherein Bhagavan himself describes the mini Bhagavad Gita in about 36 chapters or so. And these chapters are recited because Arjuna, it seems that he tells Krishna, I am not able to recollect whatever you told me in the Gita also. But Bhagavan was in the Shanti Parvam. But therefore, I would like to listen to you again. Here, Bhagavan does not lose his cool. He tells that like Arjuna, many devotees are going to be like you only. Many people are going to be like you. They will be well versed with everything. They will have the highest form of knowledge. Still, they will tend to forget me. But I will ensure that I come back again with some ray of light that is there. You can compare this to our own selves, wherein despite knowing everything, all the resources being available easily, many times we give up on our duties. But yes, some or the other way, the Lord paves way and we continue on our paths. So, Bhagavan here, he recites the Anugita again to Arjuna and ultimately for the benefit of all of us. And basically, this Gita that is there, at this time what he tells is, he tells this Gita as a conversation that takes place between Brahma and a Brahmin's wife also. So that's how the conversation comes. The principles are similar to the original Gita only. Now, in fact, it is said that there are some critique scholars also. They say that this is like an addition also to this Ashwamedhika Parva, and that's how maybe not much importance was given to it, but we must know that the Anugita is a part of this Ashwamedhika Parva only. Next is the Ashramavasika Parva, the life in the hermitage, ashrama. It is the 15th of this book of all the 18 parvas that are there has about 3 subsections or so, 39-40 chapters, and it describes the part wherein Yudhishthira rules over Hastinapuram for about 15-16 years or so after the Yuddham that is there. The Pandavas and Kauravas, whoever was alive from the Kauravas side, all of them, they live in peace also. Yudhishthira, but here also Yudhishthira does not give up on his duties because Dhritarashtra was very much there. So wherever needed, he used to consult, take advice from Dhritarashtra and so on. Proper respect was given to Dhritarashtra on matters of governance. Draupadi also, she got close to Gandhari. Vyasacharya, other sages also used to frequently visit the kingdom. They used to share their knowledge, wisdom and so on. And further, this parva talks about the 2 years when, the next 2 years wherein Dhritarashtra, Gandhari and Vidura, they take up sannyasam, they live a hermit's life also. That's as the name of the parva suggests, Ashramavasika parva, they live in the forest also. Next is a Maushala parva, or the book of club that is there. It basically talks about the end of Krishnavataram, which took place approximately about 35 in the 36th year after the Kurukshetra Yuddham, it seems. Dwarkapuri also comes under the sea. It is the shortest, it has got about 8 chapters. Some people say there are only about 3 chapters or so, if you very critically if you analyze. Balarama also, the death of Balarama, he takes the Samudra Sannyasam that is there. The same thing like Lakshmana did in Rama Avataram. So Sheshavataram, that is a Sheshanaga, takes Samadhi in the, let it be Ramayana or Mahabharatam, it is by taking Sannyasa Samadhi. Vasudeva, Krishna's father also, yeah. So this Maushala Parvam, as we saw, it talks about the end of Krishna Avataram, Balarama Avataram, Vasudeva's death, the fight between the Yadavas as per Gandhari's curse. And after coming to know about the end of the Yadavas and Krishna Avataram, even Krishna Avataram end, the Pandavas also decide to leave their kingdom and go back to Swargalokam. Then they start walking towards heaven. That's when later what happened is, that is described in the next 2 parvas. This Maushala Parvam is specifically known for archaeology, that is there, sculptures, archaeological studies that are done today. This Maushala Parvam serves as a base also. Next is the Mahaprasthanika Parvam, that is the great journey. Description of the great journey is told here. It is the 17th of the Parvas. It is again a short Parvam. At the end of the previous Parvam, Maushala Parvam, Vyasacharya advises the Pandavas to retire your kingdom and go, because your purpose of life has almost come to an end. Now this first advice was given to Arjuna, it seems, by Vyasacharya. Arjuna informs this to Yudhishthira, and that's when they leave. Draupadi, all the other brothers also, they agree. Then finally they descend towards the Himalayas also. They climb towards the Mount Sumeru is the name of the mountain. A dog also joins them. On their way, Draupadi, she dies first. And finally, one by one, I think we have already seen this, how the death of the Pandavas took place previously. Maybe you can just check out in some other session also, it is there, I suppose. Finally, all the Pandavas also die one by one. Only Yudhishthira, he finally reaches Mount Sumeru. And the conversations that took place between them, why the 4 other Pandavas and Draupadi did not reach Swargalokam, all that description is also given in this Parvam. Finally, the dog was Dharma himself, right, who was following Yudhishthira. Yudhishthira is Dharmaputraha. That's how the dog keeps following him. Finally, except for Yudhishthira, all of them start falling down. Swargarohana Parvam is the last of the Parvam wherein Yudhishthira finally reaches heaven. And it is the last of these books. It has, of the 18 Parvas, 6 chapters or so. And finally Yudhishthira arrives in heaven. He visits hell. He finds out. He sees what he is able to find in both places also. It seems that he tells that I want to be sent to hell because that is where people love me more also. And that's when the gods then tell that all our loved ones also, they are all in hell. Because Yudhishthira, it seems that he finds evil people in heaven and good people in hell, it seems. And then he tells that no, I need to go to hell because good people are living there. That's when the gods tell that no, this is just a Leela also, and all your loved ones also, they are in hell only. And they will return back to heaven. It talks about the other Pandavas and Draupadi. That's when Yudhishthira also becomes very, very happy. Now, with this the 18 parvas end. There is an additional parvam also which is there in some references called the Harivamsha Purana. It is a big Harivamsha, the lineage of Hari himself. Some say that it has got about 12,000 verses also. It is divided into 2 books. So that's why it is a separate Purana. It is not a part as such of Mahabharatam, not a specific parva of Mahabharatam. But you can consider an additional portion of Mahabharatam only. So some people also call it as a Harivamsha Purana. You have many manuscripts also which are give proof of this Harivamsha Purana. Talks basically of the lineage of Krishna, Hari, especially of Vishnu. So with this is the gist of Mahabharatam. Apart from this, there are many things that are there, like the Shiva Sahasranamam and the other Pancharatnani that I told you, like the Gita, Vishnu Sahasranama and so on. So like this, there are a lot of descriptions that I told in the Mahabharatam. Mahabharatam is a very exhaustive text that is there. Whenever and as with the Lord's grace, whenever it permits, you must definitely read the Mahabharatam. If not the original version also, you can at least read an abridged version, like a story form. Please also share it with youngsters. And there is one more myth that is there. Can we keep the Mahabharatam also in our houses? It will lead to fights. It is never ever like that. If it was to lead to fights, you can look at the other side of it. It has also got Vishnu Sahasranama, which most of us chant frequently. It has got the Gita. There are many other good things also. So you don't have to look. Without keeping the Mahabharatam in our houses also, we end up fighting, right? So even if you keep the Mahabharatam or you don't keep it, fights are bound to happen. So this is just not an excuse. It's a common belief which many people feel. So it is not at all so. Whenever possible, you must go through the entire Mahabharatam. You will find it very interesting, and we'll learn many other things also. Yeah.